So Hugh Jackman, I believe this is the case with him. He's done playing Wolverine. No more Wolverine, everyone's favorite X-Man, played by Hugh Jackman.
He died.
So I'm told. So this kind of, leaves a bit of a vacuum in the Wolverine actor universe with just Hugh Jackman in it. So there's kind of a new Wolverine who's a Hollywood actor who will be portraying Wolverine not on film but in kind of like an audio comic book. That would be Richard Armitage, who his name may ring a bell with you. He did play he was on The Hobbit. I'll think of the character's name in just a second. He played Thorin, the dwarf king. And he did a really good job. Now, he also played the voice of Simon Belmont in the Castlevania cartoon on Netflix. So, he's no stranger to film, he's no stranger to playing gruff characters, and he's no stranger to just providing an audio performance. So, I believe the name of the podcast or audio comic book, whatever you want to call it, I believe it's called Wolverine the Long Night. It will be a 10-episode series and will initially only be available on Stitcher. So the plot of it follows agents tracking a serial killer in a small town in Alaska who have just found their main suspect, a man known only as Logan. According to the Marvel's press release, their search leads them on a fox hunt through the mysterious and corrupt town. And that's pretty much all we have. It's going to be released in spring of 2018 on Stitcher, and then in fall of 2018, it'll make its way onto other platforms. But this begs the question, considering we are, I don't know if you're aware of this, but that deal that we talked about with Disney buying the movie and TV animation rights to Fox, that deal is actually coming closer to being true and to being finalized. Something like $61 billion. Yeah. But this would put, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Deadpool under the control of Marvel again, which is owned by Disney, but still Marvel. So they're going to be looking for number one, I hope they reboot X-Men. If that truly does happen and we're going to do X-Men in the MCU, I don't want them to try and shoehorn, because that whole continuity timeline has been so jacked up at this point in time. There's no salvaging it. You should just start with a fresh slate. It'd be interesting to see the X-Men in the MCU actually, interacting with the other heroes. We could have a Spider-Man X-Men crossover if Sony plays nice with Spider-Man a bit more. All kinds of possibilities are possible. But who would play Logan? Who do you think would actually make a good Logan at this point?
I actually think that the role, the character of Logan and Wolverine will forever just be erased from history. This is no longer a person in the MCU because there is no one who can actually portray him. He's dead. He's gone.
We're just talking about make-believe here, Matt. It's just make-believe.
Logan's dead.
It's just land of make believe. It's imagination.
I really can't think of anyone.
I actually really like Richard Armitage as a hopeful. He kind of reminds me of Hugh Jackman like 15, 20 years ago. Because, Hugh Jackman was kind of an unknown actor. I want to say Wolverine was like his first big role. Kind of like this guy. He's really only had one big role, and that was Thorin with The Hobbit. And then kind of did these, for a while, Hugh Jackman did these like really small projects. Not too small, but like he was in Van Helsing, which was like a B movie role. He would never do something like that today. But he's kind of done these weird, I guess, movies. You kind of take what you can get at that point when you're just starting out. So yeah, he kind of reminds me a lot of Jackman. We know he can play gruff characters, so I just don't know how, when I'm used to him talking all kingly and everything, and then just throwing bub at the end of every sentence, that might be a bit weird. I think he might have to change his approach with acting for Logan. I might actually just give this a listen just to see how well he portrays Logan. Just a preview. But Kevin Feige, if you're listening and you are looking for possible Wolverine casting, my vote's in for Richard.